Hey guys, hope you're well. So, in this video, I want to discuss some common manifestation myths and some misconceptions that are actually not helpful for you if you're in the journey of manifesting something that you want. Now, some of these things will be repetitive because I have talked about them in my videos before, but I think that these things keep on coming up, and I think as a coach, it's a responsibility not just for me but for all coaches to actually keep talking about these things very regularly. The reason being because the community as a whole should be going towards growth. It shouldn't be going towards the toxic positivity side of it, where we are just promoting ideas for ourselves which aren't making us happier in the long term. I get a lot of comments from people telling me that since the time I have gotten into the journey of manifestation, I have actually started to see things in my life not going well. So I will be sharing some reasons why this happens, and let's get into it. So first of all, I would like to cater to the first reason, and this will include this topic that a lot of times when people get into this journey of manifestation, their life actually goes slightly down rather than up. So the first thing, and a very common myth that comes up with the manifestation journey, is that you will never feel bad or you should never have negative thoughts. That is simply not true. You have to understand that being a human being, you come with a few things. Just like you, just like me, every person, we come with a few things. These things include: I need to eat food to survive, I need to sleep to survive, I need to use the washroom to survive, I need some sort of socializing, right? I need some sort of income, I need some sort of connection. All of these things are always going to be a part of your human experience. Just like that, thoughts are always going to be a part of your human experience. Now what starts happening is that the common way to actually talk about this is that you cannot have negative thoughts. Now I don't know what the intention behind this, like how this started, that people started going in the direction that you cannot have negative thoughts. But what it truly means is that you don't have to dwell on these negative thoughts. Now, a lot of times, your first instinctive thought is instinctive, which means it comes under an instinct. It's not something that you're fully in control of, right? Now, this is a common cycle that happens with people, is that let's say I'm wanting to manifest something. Let's say I'm wanting to manifest better relationships in my life, right? Now, as I'm wanting to manifest better relationships in my life, let's say I start focusing on love, feeling better. I start focusing on myself. I start focusing on the concept of love. But then suddenly one day I wake up, maybe I had a dream, or I just saw something, or I'm just generally triggered. Maybe I'm feeling bad, maybe I'm not feeling as good as I was yesterday. Maybe it's just that I'm irritated and I don't know why. Maybe I haven't had something to eat and I'm just tired. This used to happen with one of my clients. By the end of the day, she used to be very reactive. And once she figured it out that it was just that she was hungry and tired, that is when her tendency to react was more. She started eating just before bedtime and just started sleeping 15 to 20 minutes in the afternoon, and she started feeling better. So all these things can bring out some negative thoughts. Now these negative thoughts at the starting point are instinctive, which means they are not fully in your control. Just like if you see a dog running after you and you don't know whose dog that is, and let's say it feels feral, you will run away. Or if you see a car coming towards you, your first instinct would be to go away from it, to try to protect yourself, right? Just like that, these thoughts will come into your mind and you won't have a power on what to do with them. Now, after you get that thought, a big thing that happens is, first you're feeling bad because of the thought, because it's not pleasant, but then you have this expectation that this thought shouldn't be here. Once we start to say that this thought shouldn't be here, we start to react on it. So now, earlier I was just feeling sad about the fact that this thought came. Now I'm thinking that this thought came, so this must mean something. This means that I'm doing something wrong, or I'm going in an opposite direction, whatever it is. Once we start going in that direction, we are just increasing the tendency to react to these thoughts even more, which won't help us in the long term. So negative thoughts are a common part of the journey. Negative thoughts are a common part of the equation. They are going to come up and they are going to be a part of your life. There is nothing wrong with having them, because in the end it's just a thought, right? It's us, based on what we want, where we want to go, what our desires are, what is it that we want to pursue, that we are, and the perceived how that we have in our mind, that we are actually assigning a meaning to it. So if I have a how, that I want things to go in this particular way, and this thought tells me they won't, a part of me starts to judge the process and tells me that, you know what, if this is how you are thinking, then maybe you are doing something wrong. That's where the negative connotation begins, and that is why we start calling these thoughts negative. But they don't necessarily need to be. Now, same goes with feelings. You can have feelings. Feelings are a part of your life, and feelings will always be a part of your life. How you cater to these feelings is what matters. I have a video where I talk about how to deal with resistance. So in there I discuss on how you can deal with these thoughts when they come up. So you can check it out. The link is in the description. Coming to the fact where a lot of people say that, you know, I have seen that my life has actually started to go a downward spiral since I have gotten to know manifestation. Now this is a video and like a topic for a bigger video, and I will try to make a full video on it. But a big reason why this happens is because we start micromanaging each and every thought that we have, because of which it starts to become a sort of OCD where we just start to hyper focus on each and every thought, and we don't practice critical thinking. So practice critical thinking here. You have already manifested things in your life before. If we are saying that everything in our life is a manifestation, then I have gotten things in my life before on whom I have had negative thoughts, right? Now, when we are consciously trying to do it, we are trying to speed the process up. We are wanting to be in a position where it can happen faster and where we can focus on our things faster. As we are working on that and as we are focusing on getting it faster, we are trying to bypass the middle struggles that we earlier had. That's why the process is now starting to pace up a little bit. But once it starts to pace up, what happens is a lot of times we start to micromanage each and everything. We start to micromanage each and every feeling, which were feelings that were there before, and we were handling them before too. We were dealing with them before too. And at that time, we were just not placing that much importance on them. We were feeling them, we were letting them go. We were feeling them and we were letting them go. That's why things used to happen in a particular way. And even if things weren't working out, it wasn't because of this set of feelings, right? So feelings are normal, thoughts are normal. We don't have to actually assign a very negative meaning to it. Just after they come up, how you handle it is what matters. This also goes in other areas of your life. I think that I heard this somewhere, I don't know exactly where, but this line actually stuck with me for a while, where this guy said that courage is actually not an absence of fear, it's acting despite it. So even people that you feel are courageous, who are disciplined, and all these things, are people who still have urges to not do that, which means the negative thought exists. It's just that they don't act on it. That's what matters. The next point, you can just do anything that you want and you can still get what you want. This is not true. This is absolutely not true. I have discussed this in detail in my video when it comes to action. I will link it down below where I talk about this in detail. But this is a very common misconception that people have, that you can just do anything and you can still eventually achieve what you want, right? This also comes under the perspective that you make your own rules, and based on that, we bypass a lot of the things that we have to actually have to focus on in the middle, and we make the process slightly toxic for ourselves, right? Now, let's understand what this means. So, anytime that you're manifesting anything, or even focusing on anything, or you're trying to change yourself, there are thoughts, there are affirmations, mindset, then there is your perception, then there are your actions, and then there are your boundaries. I have discussed this in detail in my self concept course. So the people who have the course, you can check, like you can go back and refer to that once. Now, what happens is we start changing our action, we start changing our thought process, and we start changing our perception. That is good, and that starts to give you positive feelings, that starts to make you feel better, and you start going in a positive direction towards it. Now, as you start going in a positive direction towards it, what then starts to happen is that the action part doesn't change. I'll give you an example. So let's say when it comes to a business, let's say you want to manifest money, or you want to manifest being a successful business owner, and you're sitting at home thinking just about it, but you still don't know how a business works, you still don't know how you will market, you still don't know how you will advertise, you still don't know how you will handle your taxes. That is just basically you thinking about something and will go in a direction of wishful thinking, which won't actually give you the results that you're looking for. Same goes in a relationship. When you are actually trying to change your mindset of a relationship and then you're stalking. I had this person I was talking to, and at that time she was not feeling very good. Again, because she was very frustrated with this journey of manifestation, that, you know what, things don't work out for me. I've been into this for such a long time and everything. And then the next words that came out of her mouth was, I'm tired of stalking my SB. So you see how for her it feels very frustrating because in her mind she has been into this for such a long time. But eventually her thinking about something, thinking about her perceptions and everything, that is great. But if she's still sitting here stalking, that is just an indication that her state of being still comes from that place where she feels the need to stalk and her actions are still not aligned, right? This goes for all sort of chasing, all sorts of running after someone, pursuing things out of desperation, just doesn't really help. So aligning your actions with your words will actually be very helpful. And if we start doing that, it will ease up in the embodiment part of the journey. We will be able to embody things way more easier. We will be able to get things in that direction way more easier. And it will become very, very quick to actually go after these things, because then the full mindset, the actions, the boundaries, everything is in alignment to what we want, right? The next one, you have to affirm 24/7. Not true, not true at all. So let's understand what this means. A lot of times what happens is we get hyper focused on techniques, but most of the times you will see that the more techniques that you will do, and if you will be coming from a desperate state in your mind, you will actually have a tendency to get more desperate towards it, right? That is why I never recommend people to do more than 10 to 15 minutes of affirmations 1 or 2 times a day. Now if you are actually coming from a very confident state of being and you feel that it just makes me feel empowered, then definitely go for it, affirm throughout your life. Like if that's what you feel good with, that's fine. But for a lot of people, that is not how things work. They actually feel the opposite. So if someone who's manifesting a specific person is consistently affirming about the specific person, they will tend to have higher tendency to feel more desperate about that person, because they're consistently thinking about them, they're thinking about them from that direction, and it doesn't really just feel good. I was talking to one of my clients a while back where I just gave her techniques for self concept, and she was so resistant to that at the start because a part of her just was in that zone where she just wanted to affirm for the SP. And when she wasn't getting to affirm for the specific person, it wasn't making her feel good. So just understand that affirming 24/7 isn't really essential, neither is it helpful. If it is changing you and if it is making you feel that your state of being is changing, definitely do it. But understand, as a whole, it is not a necessity. In fact, at a certain point of time, you will come to a realization that after a while, if you're doing the same affirmations, it won't really make sense, because these affirmations are supposed to change you, right? If I'm doing some affirmation, let's say I'm saying I'm blessed, and I'm consistently doing that affirmation for a long period of time, after a while I should be getting into a state where I should start to feel blessed, where that feeling of feeling blessed should become my general way of living and general way of thinking. So our goals with affirmations should be that we can achieve that general goal, not that we have to affirm 24/7. Now if it makes you, like I said, if it makes you feel good, that's fine, but make the eventual goal that I want my mindset to transform to that place where I don't fully feel the need to affirm 24/7. That would be very helpful. So I hope that these tips help you, and I hope that they help you get into a better state of being and better state of mind, and I will see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.